Hello, and welcome to English in Advance. My name is Jessica. Have you ever felt that there is a wall inside your head? A thick, invisible wall between the English that you know and the English that you can actually use. You have the words. You understand the grammar. But when you want to speak, you hit that wall. It's the frustrating feeling of being stuck in silence, of being invisible in a conversation, while your mind works slowly and desperately to translate. If you have ever felt that way, I want you to know that you are not alone, and that today we are going to begin to break down that wall, brick by brick. I invite you to think of our time together, not just as a lesson, but as your own personal fluency retreat. This is a dedicated space just for you, away from the noise and pressure of daily life, where you can focus deeply on transforming your relationship with the English language. This is your time to build a new way of thinking. So if you are ready to find your true, confident voice in English, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, put on your headphones, take a deep, relaxing breath, and let's begin this journey together. And if you believe in this method of deep practice, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell, because this is the kind of training we are dedicated to here at English in Advance. Our retreat today is a complete workshop. First, we will lay the foundation, focusing on the powerful mindset you need for fluency. Second, we will explore your internal world, mastering the art of the English monologue inside your own head. Third, we will enter the workshop for your external voice, training your mouth and ears to work with the sounds and music of English. Finally, we will build a bridge to the real world, giving you the tools to move from practice to conversation. This is your complete journey to thinking in English. Let's begin. First, let's lay the foundation. We need to understand what we truly mean by thinking in English. It sounds like a big, abstract idea, but it is actually very simple and very practical. It means that when you see a beautiful sunset, the thought that forms in your mind is, "That is a beautiful sunset." Not the sentence in your native language followed by a quick mental search for the translation. When you feel happy, the thought in your mind is, "I am happy." It's about creating a direct connection, a straight, uninterrupted line between a thought, an idea, an object, or a feeling, and the English words for it. Let's deepen our driving analogy. Think about a person learning to drive a car for the first time. Their movements are jerky and slow. Their mind is overloaded with a checklist of tasks. Check the mirror, signal, turn the wheel, press the pedal. They are so focused on the mechanics that they can't enjoy the journey. They can't listen to music or talk to a passenger. This is exactly like a language learner who is translating. Their mind is overloaded with the mechanics of language. Find the word, check the grammar, build the sentence. Their speech is slow, hesitant, and they can't fully engage in the natural flow of conversation. But what about an experienced driver? They merge into traffic smoothly. They can listen to a podcast, talk on the phone hands-free, and navigate a busy city, all while driving perfectly. Driving has become automatic. It is second nature. This is our goal for your English. We want to move you from being the nervous learner driver to the confident, experienced driver. Think it directly in English is the key that makes the whole process automatic. Let's think about this on an even deeper level. In your brain, there are connections, like roads between cities. When you translate, your thought starts in your native language city. It then has to travel down a long, slow, winding country road to get to your English language city. It's a long journey with many turns, and sometimes you get lost. Every time you practice thinking in English, you are working on a new road. You are building a direct superhighway between your thoughts and English words. The first time you try, it's just a small dirt path. It's slow. But the more you practice, the more you use that path. It gets wider. It becomes a paved road. With consistent practice every single day, that road becomes a multi-lane superhighway. The thoughts travel at high speed with no effort. This is what fluency feels like in your brain. We are not just learning a skill, we are physically changing our brains, building new, faster connections. Before we start building, let's also set some realistic expectations. Fluency is not a perfect destination where you know every word and never make a mistake. Even native speakers make mistakes. Fluency is a journey. It's about clear communication and expressing yourself. On this journey, you will experience something called a plateau. This is a period when you feel like you are not making any progress. It is normal. Every single learner experiences this. The practices we are about to do today are the best way to break through that plateau because they shift your focus from passively learning about English to actively using English in your own mind. Mistakes are not failures. They are signposts showing you what to practice next. A productive mistake is a mistake you learn from. And today is all about learning. The reason translating is so exhausting is because of cognitive load. Imagine your brain is like a computer. When you have too many programs open at the same time, the computer slows down. It becomes unresponsive, and sometimes it even freezes or crashes. Listening in English is one program. Speaking in English is another. But translating is a third very heavy program running in the background. It uses up all the computer's memory and energy. By closing that translation program, you free up an incredible amount of mental space. Suddenly, the English conversation program runs fast and smooth. This is why you feel so tired after a long English conversation. It's mentally draining. By learning to think in English, you remove the translation job completely. You dramatically lower the cognitive load. This frees up so much mental energy that you can then use for the important things, to listen more carefully, to understand jokes and emotions, to notice the speaker's tone of voice, and most importantly, to express your own unique personality. This process also helps you to sound more natural as you begin to absorb the true rhythm and structure of the language, rather than imposing the rules of your native tongue. Our goal is to close the gap between your thought and your speech. And the way we do that is by starting very, very small with the first and most important set of tools. Now we move into our workshop. The first part of our workshop is dedicated to your internal world. We will build your internal monologue, the private conversation you have with yourself inside your head. We're going to learn to have that conversation in English. We will do this in 3 stages: being an observer, being a storyteller, and being an architect of the future. Let's begin as an observer. The first and simplest tool is naming. Let's practice it right now, together. I want you to look around the space you are in. Just look. Don't try to name everything. Just pick one object. Perhaps it's a lamp. Now, the only thing I want you to do is to think the English word for it in your mind. Just the word lamp. Don't say it out loud yet. Just think it. Lamp. If your brain automatically gives you the word in your native language, gently push it aside and focus only on the English word, lamp. Let's try another one. Look at your own feet. Think the word, feet. Nothing more. Let's do a few more. Look at the ceiling. The thought is ceiling. Look at a picture on the wall. The thought is picture. Look at your chair. The thought is chair. Do you feel what is happening? For a tiny moment, you are not translating. You are making a direct link between what you see and an English word. This is the first brick in our new house. It's simple, but it is so powerful. Now let's pick up the next tool, creating simple descriptions. We are going to move from single words to very short, simple sentences. Let's go back to the lamp. You looked at it and thought, lamp. Now, let's add a detail. Maybe the lamp is tall. So you look at it and think the sentence, the lamp is tall. Try to think the whole sentence in your head. The lamp is tall. Again, resist the urge to build the sentence in your native language first. Let the English words come directly. Let's try the ceiling. Maybe the ceiling is white. So you think, the ceiling is white. See how simple this is? You are just observing and describing your world in English, inside your mind. Now, let's make this practice much richer by using all of our senses. True fluency is about describing your full experience of the world. We are going to do a guided sensory practice. I call it the mindful minute. This is like a meditation. For the next minute, your only job is to notice your environment and form simple English thoughts about it. I will guide you. Let's begin. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Take a deep breath. Now, just listen. What is the quietest sound you can hear? Form a sentence in your mind. I can hear the soft hum of my computer. What is the loudest sound you can hear? I can hear the cars outside. Now bring your attention to the sense of touch. Notice the feeling of your clothes on your skin. My shirt feels soft. Notice the temperature of the air. The air feels a little warm. Now the sense of smell. Breathe in slowly. What do you notice? I can smell the fresh air from the window. Finally, notice how your body feels. Are you tired or energetic? I feel calm right now. Open your eyes. By practicing with all 5 senses, you are building a much richer and more complete English world inside your mind. You are connecting the language not just to objects, but to your direct experience of life. Now, we will become the storyteller. This is a very exciting step. We will move from narrating the present moment to narrating the past. We are going to practice telling the story of our own memories in simple English. This is how you build the ability to share your life with others. Let's start with a very simple, happy memory from yesterday or this morning. Maybe it's the memory of your first cup of coffee. Let's build the story together, layer by layer. Layer 1, the simple actions. Use simple past tense. Think. This morning, I woke up. I went to the kitchen. I made a cup of coffee, see? Simple, clear actions. Layer 2, add sensory details. What did you see, smell, and feel? Let's add that to the narrative. This morning, I woke up. The room was quiet and dark. I went to the kitchen. I decided to make a cup of coffee. I love the rich smell of coffee in the morning. I held the warm, smooth cup in my hands. Layer 3, add feelings. How did this experience make you feel? It felt good to hold the warm cup. I took the first sip. The coffee was hot and strong. It tasted delicious. I felt more awake and happy. Layer 4, add your thoughts and reflections. What did you think about? I thought about my day. I thought, this is a good way to start the morning. It made me realize that I enjoy these quiet moments. This is a beautiful personal story built in 4 layers. You can do this with any simple memory. The memory of a walk. The memory of a conversation with a friend. The memory of a meal you enjoyed. By practicing this, you are building the skill to share your experiences, which is the heart of conversation. Next, we become the architect. We have observed the present and narrated the past. Now let's design the future. This practice involves planning in detail, using future tenses and connecting words. Let's do a fun exercise. Let's design your ideal day. If you could have a perfect day, what would it look like? Let's plan it in our minds. First, the morning. Use would for your ideal preference. On my ideal day, I would wake up early without an alarm clock. The sun would be shining. I would make a delicious breakfast. Then I would go for a long walk in nature. Next, the afternoon. Use could and might for possibilities. In the afternoon, I could read a good book for a few hours, or I might meet a friend for lunch. We could go to our favorite cafe. Then the evening. Use want to and going to for intentions. In the evening, I want to cook a special dinner. I am going to try a new recipe. After dinner, I am going to watch a great movie. Finally, a reflection on the day. This would be a perfect day because it is a balance of relaxing activities and social time. It would make me feel very happy and refreshed. Do you see the power of this? You are not just listing tasks. You are building a detailed, multi-layered future plan, full of hopes and preferences, all in English. This is a very advanced form of internal monologue, and the final tool for our internal world is asking questions. We have practiced simple questions, but let's try more complex, open-ended questions. Ask yourself, why is this practice important to me? And answer, because I want to improve my English and feel more confident. Ask, how can I make this a consistent habit? Answer, I can practice for 10 minutes every morning with my coffee. Ask, what is one thing I learned today? Answer, I learned how to narrate a memory in English. This practice of asking and answering more thoughtful questions in your head makes your internal monologue much more active and prepares you for deeper, more meaningful conversations. Now we move to the second part of our workshop, the external world. Here, we will practice with our voice. This part is divided into 3 sections: the sound gym, the music studio, and the rehearsal room. Welcome to the sound gym. Here we will work on the specific muscles of your mouth to produce English sounds more clearly. Let's start with some difficult vowel sounds. Repeat after me and try to feel the difference in your mouth. First, the short I and the long E. Sit, seat, ship, sheep, live, leave. Excellent. Now the I in cat and the U in cut. Cat, cut, hat, hut, pan, pun. Very good. Now let's practice diphthongs. These are 2 vowel sounds joined together in 1 syllable. Listen closely. The oi sound as in boy. Repeat. Toy, coin, voice. The ow sound as in house. Repeat. Now, cow, out. The a sound as in time. Repeat. My, sky, by. The a sound as in late. Repeat. Say, wait, name. Now let's focus on some tricky consonants. First, ren L. Make sure your tongue is in the right position. Right, light, read, lead, fry, fly. Now the 3 different sounds for ed endings. Sometimes it sounds like T, sometimes D, and sometimes ID. Listen and repeat. First, the T sound. walked, talked, looked. Next, the D sound. Played, lived, opened. And finally, the achida sound. Wanted, needed, decided. This is a difficult point for many learners. Don't worry, just practicing the sounds will help your mouth learn them over time. Now, let's practice connected speech. English speakers link words together. Let's practice a few types. First, assimilation, when one sound changes to be like a nearby sound. For example, good boy often sounds like goob boy. Try it, good boy. 10 men sounds like 10 men. Try it, 10 men. Next, elision, when we lose a sound. For example, next door often sounds like next door. The T disappears. Try it, next door, see you. Most common sounds like most common. Try it, most common. This is a secret to understanding fast speech and sounding more natural. Now, let's enter the music studio. Here we focus not on individual sounds, but on the rhythm and melody of English. This is called prosody. First, let's work on sentence stress. The meaning of a sentence can change completely depending on which word you stress. I will say a sentence and stress a different word each time. Repeat after me and notice how the meaning changes. The sentence is, I didn't steal your blue pen. I didn't steal your blue pen. Someone else did. I didn't steal your blue pen. I'm denying it. I didn't steal your blue pen. Hoi, I just borrowed it. I didn't steal your blue pen. I stole someone else's. I didn't steal your blue pen. I stole your black one. I didn't steal your blue pen. I stole your blue pencil. Isn't that amazing? Stress is a key part of sounding natural. Now let's practice intonation for lists. When we list things, our voice goes up for each item and then falls on the final item. Listen, I need to buy apples, bananas, and milk. Now you try. I need to buy apples, bananas, and milk. Let's try another. My favorite colors are red, blue, and green. Now let's practice thought groups. Long sentences are not spoken in one breath. We break them into chunks of meaning. I will say a sentence without any pauses and it will sound robotic. Then I will say it with pauses, with feeling. Shadow the second version. Without pauses, when I go to the market, like to buy fresh fruity tanned vegetables. Now with pauses and feeling, when I go to the market, I like to buy fresh fruit and vegetables. You try. When I go to the market, I like to buy fresh fruit and vegetables. This is how we make our speech clear and easy to understand. Finally, welcome to the rehearsal room. Here we will put everything together with our shadowing practice. We have 5 different texts to work with. Our first story is about Alex. The goal here is to focus on basic rhythm and pacing. Alex wakes up early every morning. The sun is just beginning to rise. He stretches his arms above his head. He feels happy and ready for the day. First, he goes to the kitchen. He opens the refrigerator to get some milk. He pours a glass of cold milk. Then he makes a piece of toast. He sits at the table by the window. He eats his breakfast slowly. He watches the birds outside. The birds are singing a beautiful song. He feels good about his simple morning. Very good. Now, for our second story about Maria at the market. Our focus here will be on connecting words and flow. First, I will read the story so you can just listen. Maria loves Saturday mornings. On Saturdays, she always goes to the local farmer's market. The market is a busy, colorful place. It is full of fresh fruits and vegetables. Maria brings her favorite cloth bag. Today she wants to buy ingredients for a big salad. She walks slowly through the crowd. The first stall she sees is selling bright red tomatoes. The farmer smiles and says, "Good morning." Maria smiles back and says, "They look wonderful." She decides to buy 5 large tomatoes. She puts them carefully into her bag. Next, she sees a stall with green lettuce and cucumbers. The lettuce looks so fresh and crispy. She buys 1 head of lettuce and 2 cucumbers. She continues walking and enjoys the lively sounds of the market. She can hear people talking and laughing. She smells fresh bread from a nearby bakery. At the last stall, she finds some sweet strawberries for dessert. She pays the vendor and thanks him. With her bag full of fresh food, Maria feels very happy. She walks home, excited to make her delicious salad. Okay, now let's shadow it. Focus on making your sentences flow smoothly. Maria loves Saturday mornings. On Saturdays, she always goes to the local farmer's market. The market is a busy, colorful place. It is full of fresh fruits and vegetables. Maria brings her favorite cloth bag. Today, she wants to buy ingredients for a big salad. She walks slowly through the crowd. The first stall she sees is selling bright red tomatoes. The farmer smiles and says, "Good morning." Maria smiles back and says, "They look wonderful." She decides to buy 5 large tomatoes. She puts them carefully into her bag. Next, she sees a stall with green lettuce and cucumbers. The lettuce looks so fresh and crispy. She buys 1 head of lettuce and 2 cucumbers. She continues walking and enjoys the lively sounds of the market. She can hear people talking and laughing. She smells fresh bread from a nearby bakery. At the last stall, she finds some sweet strawberries for dessert. She pays the vendor and thanks him. With her bag full of fresh food, Maria feels very happy. She walks home, excited to make her delicious salad. Wonderful work. Now for our third shadowing practice, our reflective monologue about reading. Our focus here is on emotional tone and intonation. First, just listen. For me, reading is more than just a hobby. It's like opening a door to 1,000 different worlds. When I open a book, the real world outside seems to fade away. I can be a detective in a busy city, an explorer in a strange new land, or just a normal person living in a different time. The best part is the quiet and the calm. In a world that is often loud and fast, a book is a place of peace. I love the feeling of the paper in my hands and the smell of an old library book. Each story teaches me something new, not just about the world, but about myself, too. Reading helps me to understand different people and different points of view. It is a quiet adventure that I can take anytime, anywhere. Okay, a very different feeling. Let's try to capture that feeling as we shadow it. For me, reading is more than just a hobby. It's like opening a door to 1,000 different worlds. When I open a book, the real world outside seems to fade away. I can be a detective in a busy city, an explorer in a strange new land, or just a normal person living in a different time. The best part is the quiet and the calm. In a world that is often loud and fast, a book is a place of peace. I love the feeling of the paper in my hands and the smell of an old library book. Each story teaches me something new, not just about the world, but about myself, too. Reading helps me to understand different people and different points of view. It is a quiet adventure that I can take anytime, anywhere. Fantastic. Now, for our fourth shadowing exercise, our short dialogue. The focus is on conversational rhythm. I will play two parts, Tom and Sarah. Your job is to shadow both parts. First, listen to the whole dialogue. Tom, hi Sarah, how are you doing? Sarah, hi Tom, I'm doing great, thanks. I was just thinking about getting some coffee. Tom, that sounds like a perfect idea. Are you free now? Sarah, I am. There's a new cafe on Main Street. Do you want to check it out? Tom, absolutely. I've heard good things about it. Let's go. Sarah, great. I'll meet you there in about 10 minutes. Tom, perfect. See you soon, Sarah. Sarah, see you soon. Okay, a simple, friendly conversation. Now let's shadow it line by line. Hi, Sarah. How are you doing? Hi, Tom. I'm doing great, thanks. I was just thinking about getting some coffee. That sounds like a perfect idea. Are you free now? I am. There's a new cafe on Main Street. Do you want to check it out? Oh, absolutely. I've heard good things about it. Let's go. Great. I'll meet you there in about 10 minutes. Perfect. See you soon, Sarah. See you soon. Excellent work. For our final shadowing practice today, we will work with a slightly longer story. This one has a small plot and more emotion. It's about a man named Leo who finds a lost dog. Our focus here is narrative and emotional progression. Listen to how the feeling changes from normal to surprised, to worried to happy. First, the full story. Leo was walking home from work on a Tuesday afternoon. The street was quiet and the sun was warm. Suddenly, he heard a small sound. It was a soft crying sound. He looked around and saw a small puppy sitting by a gate. The puppy was brown with big, sad eyes. It looked lost. There was no owner anywhere. Leo felt a little worried. He knelt down slowly. "Hello there," he said in a soft voice. The puppy wagged its tail just a little. Leo looked at the puppy's collar. There was a small metal tag with a phone number on it. He felt a wave of relief. He took out his phone and called the number. A woman answered, sounding very worried. "Have you seen a small brown puppy?" she asked. "Yes," Leo said with a smile. "He is safe with me." 10 minutes later, the woman arrived. The puppy was so excited to see her. She thanked Leo again and again. Walking the rest of the way home, Leo felt incredibly happy. He had helped a lost friend find its way home. Now let's shadow this story together, line by line. Try to feel the emotions as you speak. Leo was walking home from work on a Tuesday afternoon. The street was quiet and the sun was warm. Suddenly, he heard a small sound. It was a soft crying sound. He looked around and saw a small puppy sitting by a gate. The puppy was brown with big, sad eyes. It looked lost. There was no owner anywhere. Leo felt a little worried. He knelt down slowly. "Hello there," he said in a soft voice. The puppy wagged its tail just a little. Leo looked at the puppy's collar. There was a small metal tag with a phone number on it. He felt a wave of relief. He took out his phone and called the number. A woman answered, sounding very worried. "Have you seen a small brown puppy?" she asked. "Yes," Leo said with a smile. "He is safe with me." 10 minutes later, the woman arrived. The puppy was so excited to see her. She thanked Leo again and again. Walking the rest of the way home, Leo felt incredibly happy. He had helped a lost friend find its way home. You've done an amazing job. You have practiced rhythm, flow, emotion, conversation, and storytelling. You are building incredibly powerful skills. Now, we move to a brand new part of our workshop. This is part 3, the bridge to conversation. We have done so much work in our internal world and with our external voice. Now we need to build a bridge that connects our practice to real-world conversations. This section will give you simple structures to use so you don't feel so much pressure in a real conversation. We will learn to be a questioner and a responder. First, let's practice being a questioner. A good conversation often starts with a good, simple question. Here are some of the most common questions you can ask someone. Let's practice saying them. Repeat after me. How are you? How was your day? How was your weekend? What are you doing this weekend? What do you think about this weather? These simple questions are like keys that can open the door to a conversation. Let's learn a few more. Have you seen any good movies recently? Are you reading any interesting books? Do you have any fun plans for the summer? These questions invite the other person to share something about their life. Now, let's practice being a responder. The difficult part of a conversation is often thinking of an answer quickly. We are going to practice with simple, easy-to-remember structures. Let's take the question, how was your day? You can use this simple structure. It was adjective. I, past tense verb. Let's try it. Maybe your day was good. You could say, it was good. I had a productive meeting. Maybe your day was relaxing. It was relaxing. I read a book. Maybe your day was busy. It was busy. I answered a lot of emails. Let's practice another one. The question is, what did you do over the weekend? You can use the structure. On Saturday, and on Sunday, Let's try. On Saturday, I went shopping with a friend, and on Sunday, I cleaned my house. It's simple, clear, and a perfect answer. Let's add some more structures. If someone asks for your opinion, like, what do you think of this music? On swing, you can start with simple phrases. Repeat after me. I think it's great. In my opinion, it's a little too loud. I feel that it's very relaxing. If you want to agree with someone, you can say more than just yes. Try these. That's a good point. I completely agree. You're absolutely right. And if you disagree politely, you can use these phrases. I see what you mean, but I think I'm not so sure about that. That's one way to look at it. However, having these simple phrases ready in your mind makes conversation much less stressful. Now, for the final part of our bridge, let's simulate a tiny conversation. I will ask you a question. I want you to pause this audio and answer the question out loud using a simple structure. Then press play, and I will respond to you and ask another question. This will feel like a real, safe conversation practice. Ready? Let's begin. Hi there. How was your weekend? That sounds nice. My weekend was very quiet. On Saturday, I went for a long walk, and on Sunday, I watched a movie. So, have you seen any good movies recently? Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that one. I recently saw a documentary about nature. I thought it was very beautiful. Well, do you have any fun plans for this week? That sounds like a good plan. This week, I am going to try a new recipe for dinner. I am excited about it. It was really nice talking to you. See? It wasn't so scary. By practicing these small exchanges, you build confidence for the real world. Now we have our blueprint for life. How do we take all these tools and techniques and integrate them into our daily routine? The key to making all of this work is consistency. It is much, much better to practice for 15 minutes every single day than for 3 hours on a Sunday. Think of it like watering a plant. A little bit of water every day helps the plant grow strong roots and beautiful leaves. Your English is the same. It needs consistent daily care to flourish. So, how can you do that? Let's create a simple, practical plan. First, anchor your practice to an existing habit. For your internal monologue practice, connect it to your morning coffee or tea. As you wait for the water to boil, do your naming and sensory practice in the kitchen. As you drink your coffee, narrate your actions and feelings, and try to build a chain of thought. I am drinking my coffee. It is warm, and it tastes a little bitter. I like it because it helps me wake up. For your shadowing practice, find a consistent time, maybe during your commute if you are alone, or for 10 minutes before you start your work or study. Here are some new ideas to make practice more interesting. Try the photo description technique. Every day, take one photo with your phone of something interesting you saw. Before you go to sleep, look at the photo and spend 1 minute describing it in your head. This is a photo of a flower. The flower is yellow. It was growing in the park. I think it is beautiful because the color is so bright. This connects your practice to your real life. Try the mental summary technique. After you watch a short video or read a news headline, take 30 seconds to summarize it in 1 or 2 simple sentences in your head. This video was about penguins. It showed how they live in the cold. I learned that they are very good swimmers. And finally, expand your 1-sentence English journal into a 3 things journal. Every night, write 3 simple lists. First, 3 things I saw today. For example, I saw a big dog, a red car, and a beautiful tree. Second, 3 things I did today. I worked, I cooked dinner, and I listened to music. Third, 3 things I felt today. I felt tired in the morning, happy in the afternoon, and calm in the evening. This simple habit builds a huge vocabulary of words that are relevant to your own life. Finally, let's talk about your mindset. As you practice, you will notice 2 voices in your head. One is the inner critic. This voice says things like, "You made a mistake. Your pronunciation is bad. You will never be fluent." This voice is not helpful. We need to learn to quiet this voice and listen to another voice, the inner coach. The inner coach is supportive and kind. The inner coach says, "That was a good try." Every mistake is a chance to learn. Your pronunciation is improving every day. You are making progress. When you hear your inner critic, I want you to actively replace its words with the words of your inner coach. If you make a mistake, say to yourself in English, "That is okay. I am learning." If you feel frustrated, say, "This is difficult, but I can do it." Being your own coach is maybe the most important skill of all for long-term success. As we come to the end of our Fluency retreat today, I want you to feel proud of the work you have done. We started by laying a strong foundation, understanding why thinking in English is the key to fluency. We then filled our toolbox with powerful techniques for building a rich internal monologue as an observer, a storyteller, and an architect. We entered the workshop and practiced in the sound gym, the music studio, and the rehearsal room. And finally, we built a bridge to the real world. You now have a complete blueprint for building a new home for your thoughts in English. These are not just tips or tricks. This is a system for retraining your brain. It's a way to immerse yourself in English, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. Your own mind is your most powerful immersion tool. Remember that this is a gradual process. You are building something strong, and that takes time. There will be days when your brain feels tired and goes back to its old habit of translating. That's perfectly okay. It's normal. When you notice it happening, just be gentle with yourself. Don't get frustrated. Simply guide your thoughts back to English, like guiding a friend back to the right path. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge the effort you are putting in every day. Every time you choose to think a thought in English, you are laying another brick. Every time you practice shadowing for 5 minutes, you are making the walls stronger. Thank you so much for joining me today on English in Advance and for investing this time in yourself. I hope you found this deep practice helpful and feel motivated and equipped to continue your journey. You have taken a very important step today towards becoming a more confident, natural, and fluent English speaker. If this session has helped you, please consider subscribing to our channel, English in Advance, and very importantly, please click that bell notification icon. By clicking the bell, you will be notified every time we release a new practice session like this one. That way, you won't miss a single opportunity to practice and improve. It's the best way to ensure you stay consistent on your path to fluency. Until next time, keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep building your thoughts in English. My name is Jessica. Goodbye for now.